Okay, 1 2 1 2. Welcome to this episode of whatever it might be. If you know me, you know I'm passionate about beat making, obviously. But my first MPC was, or my first beat making device was actually an Akai S20. My next beat making device or drum machine, sampling drum machine, was an MPC 2000 XL. Now, the MPC 2000 XL has always had, there's always been like a sweet spot, you know, where it's just the machine that I learned on. My man had an MPC 2000, and he taught me how to get down on the MPC 2000. Just some basic stuff. I could make a little boom bap beat and throw a sample on it, and but by far I wasn't really proficient on it, but I was able to make some stuff. And at some point I was able to come up with my own MPC, and that's the XL, the 2000 XL. So I copped that, and it was like a celebratory day. I took the next day off work, and I was making beats all day. And I was amazed at how much my man Trust had taught me, how it translated to my own device. So that was a huge thing for me. And I had that 2000, and it stayed with me for years. Then I moved from Chicago to LA, and I sold that MPC 2000 XL so I could have a little more money in my pocket moving from one state to another. And then a couple months in, maybe about a year after being here, I bought another 2000 XL. But by then I had already started using software and plugins and stuff, you know. So I kind of fell out of that sort of pocket, the hardware MPC. So I went and got an MPD, and I rocked Logic. I hated the idea of having to map all that stuff in Logic to this MPD 24, I think it was at the time. So at any rate, I just rocked Logic for a long time with my one piece of hardware, which was a microKORG that I got around the same time with my first MPC 2000 XL. And eventually I just stayed with that for a long time, and then I always wanted a 2000 XL again. And some of you may know when I had an MPC 5000, and it was the Bumblebee MPC. I customized that thing. I think I was the first one to customize a MPC 5000 specifically, and I did yellow and black with gold tip knobs. And my peoples over at MPC Stuff came through for me, and around that time I was, you know, as an artist I go by the name Fasha Ra, and this was before B-Boy Tech Report. But not long after that, maybe a year into that, I erected B-Boy Tech Report. I always wanted a 2000 XL again, and recently I came up on an MPC 2000 XL, and I have it right here, and it is not in good shape. And I'm gonna hold this up. Let's hope nothing falls off of it, because the knobs under here and the buttons up under here are in bad shape. So this is my 2000 XL. You can see the power inlet is coming out the back, and if I plugged it up, I'll show you some footage of the screen in there. It's all faded out. It's just not in good shape. And now, I mean, I took it apart, so I took the faceplate off of it. I have that over here. It has a zip drive, but it works and it operates, and I got a good deal on it. So I hit my people up at MPCstuff.com, and my man Mike over at MPCstuff.com. We've been talking for a while about me writing some stories or doing some collaborative content and stuff, and I thought this was a good opportunity. So what I'm going to do is rebuild this joint and kind of refurbish it. I would love to have like a wooden front panel. I would love to have, you know, a whole black case, so I could just do total blacked out. But then what I decided to do, one, because the wood panels are not available anymore. If there's any woodworkers out there that know how to make them joints, holla at me. I'll do a video on it. We'll, you know, do some stuff. Anyway, so I got parts for the MPC 2000 XL. I have thick black pads for the drum pads. I have I'm gonna replace the floppy drive with this joint. I wanted the flash drive, or you know, the SD card drive, but actually this is the compact flash card drive, and that's cool because I got compact flash cards. That's a tongue twister. I have those cards from my MPC 5000. So I have that. I have the black buttons, so I can black out all of the buttons on this joint. Brand new screen right there, so I'll replace the screen. And this is just, oh, the fader on here is all messed up. There's no fader on it. So I got those in here. You can't see them, but the fader is there with the fader cap, and then the latest disk drive, so that it'll allow me with the latest OS to install that new floppy emulator. And you know, that's about it. Oh, the power inlet is in there too. So the power inlet is in here because that joint's just flopping around out there. Let's see. So you see, that's the power inlet. I'll have to replace that, so I figured I'd just replace the whole thing rather than just the plastic part. Oh, and the fader, I mentioned the fader, but gotta put that on there. The fader is literally snapped off, so there you go. So that fader on the side, I'll be able to throw that on there. So yeah, this is gonna be a little bit of a project, and I'm looking forward to it. So I'm gonna take y'all along as I do this thing, and yeah, let's take a look at the actual device a little closer, and then the next video I do, I'll keep the camera rolling while I'm replacing some things, and then I'll talk about, and we'll, you know, check it out. I'll play some of my very old beats on there, the ones that are not so embarrassing. And yeah, so if you know anything about B-Boy Tech Report, you know that I've done these series where my MPC 60, MPC 62 that sits right next to this 2000 XL, I customized that too. So if you know anything about that, you know that this will be a series. It'll be a couple things, and you know, we'll show you the progress as we get through it. And again, shout out to mpcstuff.com. My brothers in this MPC stuff, appreciate you. And yeah, let's do this. Let's get through it. All right, B-Boy Tech. Oh, like, subscribe, share. We'll be back.